Hi, I'm Olga and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make pickled cabbage salad that is made with cabbage, carrots and some spices. This salad is full of probiotics, of course, full of prebiotics because you have cabbage here, you have carrots, all the things that feed the good bacteria in your gut. It is absolutely delicious and goes with almost any meal where you would use anything kind of sour and pickled. And it's very easy to make. It's much easier to make than sauerkraut because of the method we're using to make it. So I call this sometimes lazy sauerkraut, but it is not a sauerkraut because the way you make it in sauerkraut, you have to squeeze cabbage until it gives you its own juice, and then it's pickled with the juice that the cabbage released. But in this salad, we make the brine with salt and then pour it on top of the salad, so it tastes a little bit different than sauerkraut, but it's also much easier and faster to make. Initially, when I started making this recipe, I just thought that caraway seeds would be good with cabbage, so I added them to the recipe. But ever since then, everybody who tries my salad loves the caraway seeds in the salad. Everybody mentioned, oh my God, I love caraway seeds in here. So I want to say that this is an important spice for this recipe, but I also use pickling spices. I think they also add nice flavor to it. This salad has been very popular in my house ever since I made it. I made initially two big 1.5 liter, 1.5 quart jars, and this is all I have left, and I literally was hiding it in the back of the fridge so I can show it to you when I'm filming this video. But it's very delicious and very easy to make. Let's get into it. For this recipe, you're gonna need just a few ingredients. It's a very quick and simple recipe. So you need some carrots and green cabbage. You're gonna need sea salt. You definitely need caraway seeds, and if you have any pickling spice or any spices that you have, like mustard seed, bay leaf, peppers, coriander seeds, anything you like would be good in this recipe. And you also need filtered water or bottled water if you don't have a filter. And I almost forgot to mention that for this recipe, it's advisable to use some kind of starter to give that initial boost of the bifidobacterium and lactobacillus bacteria for your veggies to start pickling before the bad bacteria will take over in there. So there's a few options. Number one, if you made this recipe before, you can use the juice, the brine from already mature pickles, pickling salad, and use it as a starter. I would use about 1/4 cup for 1.5 quart jar that I have there. You can also use from other veggies, like I have this pickled carrots recipe that I made. I actually have a recipe for it already online. I can use a starter from here. The same, I would use 1/4 cup of it. You can use a concentrated yogurt. This is my super yogurt that I make. I can use 1 or 2 tablespoons of this yogurt, or if you have whey, that if you strain the yogurt, you can use that as well. And you can also use any probiotic capsule. I'm actually going to give you the directions for it later in the video, how to use it. Anything that contains Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium longum. You need these 2 strains to start the good starter, and later in the video I'll show you how I use, because I'm going to use Super-Flora in here. But you need some kind of starter. And for the equipment, you need something to shred the cabbage. I'm gonna use this dangerous tool to shred my cabbage, and I'm gonna use my Presto salad shooter to shred the carrots. But you can also use food processor or any grater that you like. You need clean jars, 1 or 2, however you want to pickle. Then you need 1 or 2 clean jars. I'm gonna use 1.5 quart. It's 1.5 liter jar here. You need a mixing bowl to mix the ingredients together. You need another mixing bowl to make the brine in there, and a measuring spoon. And you just need a big knife to split the cabbage. And first thing I'm gonna do is peeling the carrots. I need to wash and peel the carrots. Just wanted to mention that it is important that you use whole carrots that you're gonna peel yourself right before using them. Do not use baby carrots or any kind of pre-cut salad. This may not work because you may introduce some kind of chemicals or some kind of bad bacteria. So peel your own carrots. All right, the carrots are peeled. I rinsed them. I'm gonna cut off the ends. If there is any bad parts, of course you don't want them in there too, because they can introduce bad bacteria into your pickled salad. I'm gonna be using Presto salad shooter. I just want to show you that I used the one with big holes in here. This is the one, I think they use it for mozzarella cheese and stuff, because I want like good defined pieces of carrots in my salad. So I'm gonna shred it directly into the mixing bowl. It's gonna be noisy. I'm probably gonna shut off the camera for that. So this is the carrots after I shredded them. You see they're like defined pieces of carrots. That's the way I like it. And I think it works better in this kind of salad. And the proportion of it is completely up to you. You can do half and half. You can do less carrots, more carrots, whichever one you want. Next thing we need to do is to cut the cabbage. We need to shred the cabbage. First of all, you need to remove from the cabbage, I already did that, all the outside leaves that are bad. You want nice, good green cabbage. You can even rinse it off, the outside leaves, because they still may contain some dirt stuck in them. And then I'm just gonna cut it into quarters. I do cut off this end, and then technically don't have any shredding devices. You can just carefully shred the cabbage thinly like this. So you just go slowly and try to go as thin as you can, cutting the cabbage. Do you see what I'm doing here? But this, of course, will take more time, and I'm gonna use this device. I'm gonna set it up as thin as I can, because I want the cabbage to be finely shredded, and then I'm gonna shred the cabbage. You have to be careful if you use this device. I had been unfortunate to cut myself with it before. So you see, it comes out nice and thin. So here you want the cabbage to be finely shredded. It's not very, very thin, but finely, because this way it's gonna just be better in the salad. So to not shred my fingers in this thing, I don't go all the way till the end of the cabbage leaves. So I have pieces like this left, and then I just cut them into thin slices with a knife. This way we don't waste anything. As you know, I don't like wasting. Now I have a big mess here. I told you, every time you cut cabbage, even a small piece of cabbage will make a big mess. This is my sink and everything. Next step, with my clean hands, I just freshly washed them, I'm going to mix cabbage with shredded carrots that I have here. So they're kind of evenly mixed here. You don't, unlike making sauerkraut, where you would have to squeeze it really hard, here you don't have to do any of that stuff. All you need to do is just lightly mix it so everything is evenly spread. It's ready to be packed into the jars. Something tells me, I don't know, I may end up using another jar, we'll see. I'm going to add a teaspoon of pickling spice right at the bottom of the jar. I almost forgot important ingredient that I like to mix it into the salad is caraway. I'll go for 1.5 tablespoons of caraway, and then I'm gonna also mix it just like I did before. Alright, I'm gonna pack everything into the jar. You don't need to go too tight on it. My husband has this beautiful tool that he uses for his drinks, and sometimes I steal it for my pickling needs because it works perfectly. As you can see, I'm not gonna pack it too tight because I want the brine to go in between the cabbage, but medium. And I definitely will need another jar. Sometimes if I have a little bit of leftover, I can just leave it and use it fresh on my salad, but I think I'm gonna need another jar here. So I ended up with almost 2 full jars. This is a liter jar that is not very full, and almost full 1.5 liter jar. Here we want the brine to actually go in between everything and pickle it from the inside. So we want it to be loosely packed. Now we're going to make the brine. So I ended up with 2 jars, so it's like 2.5 liters of cabbage. So I need to make the brine enough to fill this. It's kind of hard to estimate, but I will probably make 1.25 quart of brine. I decided, since I ended up with 2 jars instead of 1, I'm gonna experiment and do 1 jar with Super-Flora. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it now, and the other one I'm gonna use as a starter the brine from the same salad that is fully mature. I'm gonna use it as a starter here. The rule for making the brine, any brine that you're going to be pickling, is about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of salt per 1 liter or quart of liquid water. So since I'm going to be making a 1.5 quart of liquid, which probably will be a little bit too much, I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of salt. So it's 2 tablespoons per liter. I'm going to add a little bit of hot water just to start melting the salt. And then I'm gonna add more water. This is 2 liters container, 8 cups, so I'm gonna fill it like 2/3 of the way. I have filtered water here. It has to be filtered water because you don't want any chlorine in there. Chlorine will definitely ruin your pickles, your ferments. So if you don't have filtered water, then use bottled water without chlorine. First, I'm gonna do the big jar that I'm gonna ferment with Super-Flora. Super-Flora is a very powerful probiotic. That's why I made this mistake before. I added a whole capsule into a jar of whatever I was pickling at that time, and because it's so powerful, the bacteria quickly ran out of food, and the my ferments, they worked, but they became very soft, almost like you cook them in the heat and stuff. That's why I learned my lesson that you have to use only 1/4 of a capsule of it. Whatever probiotic you're gonna use, to be on the safe side, use 1/4 of a capsule of that probiotic. So I'm carefully gonna open it into a smaller container. Use a little bit of it. That should be enough. I'm gonna close it after because I can still use it. It's still good probiotic here. And now I'm gonna add some brine. Mix it up. And now I'm gonna pour it into the jar. And I'm gonna fill the rest of this jar with the brine. Okay, you see the bubbles are coming out there. Now I'm going to do this jar. As I said, we're gonna use some of this brine that is already pickled from the salad leftover that I have, and we're gonna use it as a starter here. So, and take a few tablespoons of just liquid without, see? It is full of probiotic, this brine. A little bit more than 3 tablespoons. Again, I'm gonna add some brine to mix it in and pour it into the jar, spilling all over. And I'm gonna, looks like I didn't even make enough brine, barely. Oh, look at that, just enough brine. You always want to put something under your pickling jars, either a small plate or a bowl, because once the fermentation process starts, liquids will start coming out. It will be the bubbles will be pushing out some liquid, and you don't want to clean your counter, so it's better to prevent it. And I have these beautiful pickling weights. I absolutely love them because they fit perfectly in the jars. And you see they're wet because I just washed them. I always wash everything right before I start pickling. And now I'm gonna cover them with covers loosely. This will prevent the jars from getting any dust from the window or just from the kitchen. Now the jars will go on the counter away from the window, and they're gonna sit here for at least a week till it's mature and ready to go into the refrigerator. Don't leave just yet. I'm gonna show you the process as this salad is fermenting, so you're gonna see the whole process all the way till the end, and we're gonna even taste it at the end. We're gonna compare the difference between the jar that was made with Super-Flora probiotic and the one that we used the brine from a previous cabbage salad. And in the meantime, I would really appreciate if you click like and subscribe to my channel for more living food videos. I'm going to have lunch now, some salad, and I put whatever was left over from me filming that was in the bowl of this salad on top of my salad. It's going to be delicious. The pickled cabbage salad ferments are about 6 days old today. And I didn't have time to check on them because I was traveling this week and other things. They're just sitting here, but I just checked. You see, like it kind of started floating up. There's still a lot of gas releasing, so it can definitely stay for another few days until it's fully ready. But I tasted the liquid, and it tastes already pleasantly sour. I just remember that I have a pH tester, so why not to try to test it and see what are we testing here. The pH of a good ferment needs to be below 4, but ideally around 3.5. So let's see, we're already below 4. That's good news. It's dropping, getting close to 3.5. So this is already a safe salad to eat, safe pickled salad. You see it keeps dropping. So that's good news for us. 6 days, it's definitely ready to eat. All right, so this one is good too, 3.5, perfect. Both of them are ready to eat right now, but I'm gonna keep them for another day or two. It's been 7 days since we started this pickled salad project, cabbage with carrots and spices, and I decided to give it a final taste test. Yesterday I showed you I checked with I smelled it, I tasted it, and I also tried the pH meter, and it showed that my brine is ready. It's below 3.5 in both jars, just about, and this is absolutely perfect pH for this. You don't want it to be too sour, but you don't want it to be anywhere above 4, because that means that some rotting processes are happening there. So this is the jar that we made with probiotic capsule with Super-Flora, and I wanted to point out that it's still a little bit fermenting. Like I squeezed it before, and I don't know if you can see, there's still bubbles coming out. So I'm gonna leave this to ferment a little bit longer because there's still processes happening and the bacteria is still growing there. But it is ready to eat. I can start eating immediately because of what I told you, that it smells good, it tastes good, and the pH is right here. And this jar we made with starter from a different jar that had the same salad, and it seems like it fermented a little bit faster. Like I don't see that many bubbles. No, I do, but not as much, and it also smells a little bit stronger, like fermented brine. So I'm gonna taste them first. So first I'm gonna taste. I keep clean spoons because I don't want to introduce any bacteria from my mouth into the jar, that it can spoil the whole process. So whenever I'm tasting, I use a clean spoon, and I will get rid of it right away, not dip it again into the jar. So this ferment is It's delicious. It's very mild, but at the same time has like a pleasant flavor of cabbage with carrots and all the spices. It's like very delicious. And I'm gonna taste the cabbage from here. Delicious. The only thing, I will leave it for another 2 days maybe on the counter before transferring it into the fridge. And now I'm gonna taste this one. First the brine. It definitely tastes different. This one is also delicious, but it has more of that pickles kind of taste. Like if you taste, you know, fermented pickles from the jar, or like at the farmer's market, it has more of that flavor using the brine here, even though you saw we did them at the same time, the same salad. So this fermented faster with the brine, and it has more of the pickle. This one is more mild, kind of like more gentle flavor, definitely different. And I'm gonna taste some cabbage. Also taste a little bit more sour and delicious. Like I can totally put this jar into the fridge today, but this one can stay for another 2 days on the counter. But as I told you, both of them are very successful and very delicious. I hope you like this recipe. I hope you try it. It's very easy to make, and you get a lot of benefits, and it's absolutely delicious. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more living food videos.